Everything is designed to do one thing, get your goal. Anything that gets in your way of the goal is an obstacle. I'm not an obstacle, I'm a promoter. So why don't you give me something? If you give me what I ask for, you'll get where you want to go.
I worked with Jon since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I mean, we used to go to him like every week, and now he just helped me a lot with everything.
Jon Hardman was my first tennis coach.
I started taking tennis seriously at 11 or 12, and then I started doing lessons, private lessons with Jon at 16 years old.
At a pretty early point in my teaching career, I became aware that I had an innate, at least, connection with children, maybe because I'm immature myself. But when approaching children, I'm always shocked, and I always am very much in awe of the child's hunger and passion. It's so important to touch base with that child and to be able to transfer to them the same joy that I had when I first started playing. And in any sport, to be able to feed that hunger. He's on fire. Would you like another backhand? He's amazing. Look at Grayson's like, you go, boy.
Nobody teaches like Jon. And it doesn't matter if the kid's 3 years old or if they're 90 years old. He presents things in a way that gets them totally engaged and just pulls them in.
He's pretty funny. He'll do a lot of crazy stuff when he's coaching, and then he jokes around a lot.
Bounce, peek, swing. Bounce, peek, swing. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, you can have chicken almonding.
Like when I was little, he'd like hit himself in the head with a tennis ball, hit up in the air, catch it, hit the ball funny, slice it up so we didn't know how to hit it or whatever, like backspin and crazy
now,
stuff.
Guys, is there a ball in there? Let me look. I don't think there is one in there.
He's an absolute just nuts, clown, bozo, infectious motivator I've ever seen.
He's probably a little more serious now than we were a little longer since we just started and stuff. So.
Sometimes you don't know when he's serious and when he's not, and it kind of when you make a mistake, you kind of laugh it off, but then at the same time he's being serious.
I'm with you, Gary. I'm right here for you, baby. Come on, just another 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94.
As a student, practices were hell, to be honest. At a certain point, there's a player where you play for recreation and then you play for competition. I remember in our first year or so of working with each other, he had said to me, he said, there will be a day that you will fear coming to me. And you will fear the hour or 2 hours of practice that you and I have. Playing a tournament will be like going to heaven for you, Mike. And I have to say he lived true to that promise.
If you're really serious with tennis, he's not going to cut you any slack. He wants the job to be done the right way. He knows how to get me focused and what I need to do, and I think he can take me a long way.
Well, I've won 2 state titles, and I had a couple good national tournaments, so I'm ranked like second in the section or something. And
I got to play where Jon played tennis. We both played at the University of St. Thomas. I went from number 13 on the team my freshman year to playing 1 and 2 singles my senior year and being undefeated in the MIAC. I went to college playing tennis all through college, but I went to be a high school music director. All through the course of just the trials and tribulations of a first job out of college and whatnot, there was time after time after time that I was relying on stuff that I learned on the tennis court to help me make it through a day. Just the way that Jon gave back to students and helped them achieve goals that maybe at that time they didn't even seem possible. It made me feel so good that it was a huge catalyst in my life to kind of get me back on the right track, because it wasn't like I was down, but it just wasn't, my career with teaching music wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. And tennis was something I was really good as a player, but it was like, well, how good can I be as a coach? And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, I had one of the best coaches that anybody could ask for. Let's give it a shot. So I left teaching music and went into teaching tennis full time and have never looked back.
Well, Jon has taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot about life in general, and he's taught me more than just tennis. He's taught me how to act and to be good to other people like he is.
I always thought to myself, a tennis player should be the whole man concept, from what I've heard. A tennis player is gentle to his opponent, fierce within, courteous at all times. You're your own umpire on a tennis court. You can't wait for somebody else to say, here comes a ball flashing to the side of the court. If it hits the line, it's good. If it's 1 centimeter outside the line, it's out. And character, to be able to play hard and fight hard and have your opponent hit a ball out of your reach and turn around and acknowledge, say, your shot was too good. Today you were the better player.
Let me see your face. Nice shot, Gary.
In the heat of a moment, there was always that side of Jon that would just say, hey, there's a road, there's a detour here that isn't a good one. When in doubt, call it out. And that was an inside joke between Jon and I, that it was just like, you know, when in doubt, you play the ball good. Whereas a lot of players, in the heat of the moment, in the most intense part of the match, when in doubt, call it out, is a principle that they follow. But that's certainly one that I don't. And all the kids that I work with, we joke about it, but they know where I stand and where they need to stand. When a ball's close and you can't call it, it's always good.
Everybody, who's the last guy to touch the net? Awesome.
I always told my players when they finish a match, be the first person to the net, win or lose. When you win, you console your opponent. They've done their best, they finished second. When you lose, you're first to the net to congratulate your opponent on their hopefully exemplary behavior on the court and their ability to demonstrate how well they play the game, they've mastered the game.
He has shown me that the nice guy can finish first. You don't have to be a competitive mongrel with a bad attitude to be the best at what you can be.
If I could say one thing is that thank you for everything, and I love how you helped me a lot, and I really appreciate it. And you're one of the most important people in my life.
Thanks for sticking with me for all those years.
A huge just thank you for Jon directing my life in a positive way. And I wish there were more people like him to do so.